Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of JHouze Radio, the podcast of pop culture. Speaking of pop culture, your boy Los and I, Los, say what's up to the people.
Hola, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Aloha.
Los and I, KJ, are going to be talking about Fantastic Four. We're going to be doing our review of the latest Marvel film. We're also going to possibly talk about some other, Marvel happenings that's going on right now at Comic Con in San Diego, which is a lot as far as Marvel, if we have a chance to. But before we do all that, Los, how you doing? What's
Wait,
going on?
but don't forget, we are also going to very quickly give our final Ironheart review only because we promised our viewers and listeners that we would do it. It's going to be about 2 minutes long, and then we're done talking about that. And if we have a little time, we're going to talk about the two new trailers that got released by Paramount for Star Trek,
Yes,
if we have time. Because our
if we have
main
time.
focus today is on FF Fantastic Four. And
Yes.
yes, I've been pretty eh situations at work that have me a little upset. Personal life okay. My nephew finally moved out, him and his girl.
Hmm.
Got an interesting phone call from him today. Just to catch up and bullshit or whatever.
Hmm.
And then he tells me, "Yo," he goes, "I just realized all the times you were hard on me, trying to teach me how to be an adult. It wasn't you being mean; it was teaching me a lesson." Because
Mm,
now I do the things that you taught me and you forced me to do. It's now my habit. And now I feel like I'm more of an adult. I was like,
that's
see?
deep. That's deep. That's deep.
And he moved out, and it wasn't him. At least I don't believe. I believe his girl was just upset of all the responsibilities that we gave both of them.
Yeah.
And she was, like, oh, they're picking on us and blah, blah, blah. And now that they're out in the real world doing the things that we taught them, we told them to do, now she's like, damn, they weren't being assholes. They were trying to teach us how to be adults.
Isn't that typically how it goes sometimes, especially with like parents or people who are like that, I guess parent type figure to us,
They're
honestly.
22 and 24.
Oh wow.
They're not
Okay.
children.
Okay.
They're not children.
Well, I mean, sometimes people are a little bit late bloomers, when it comes to
Yeah,
learning some things,
yeah,
but
that's true.
we can all learn from pretty much anybody, no matter how old we are, honestly. So
Anyway,
but yeah, I guess that's good
so
news.
that's all with me. What's up with you?
Ah, man. Honestly, nothing much. Just I feel like summer's going by so fast that I'm actually trying to plan uh I guess a late summer getaway, because at this point we're at the end of July, about to hit August. And once August gets here, it's like that's it. Summer's gone essentially. So I'm trying to plan like some last minute like summer getaway at this point. What that is, I have no idea yet. Um but wherever I go, I'll make sure I bring the laptop with me so we can do the, podcast from the woods, which would be an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just recently got some new equipment. So if we ever do a live podcast, we can all do it, one, two, three, and pretty easy. Well, I won't mention what I have, but I have some stuff.
Okay.
Um, so that's good. Um,
Yeah, I'm actually I still wanted to do a live in person podcast one day. I know we
we
had
were
plans to do
supposed
one
to
a
do
while
the
ago.
100th episode, but
Uh,
somebody, I'm not
yeah,
mentioning any, but wait, the other way. I'm not mentioning any names.
things happen,
Uh
sometimes things
huh.
happen. Life
Uh
gets
huh.
in the way.
Sure. Likely story.
Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much up with me, honestly. Trying to catch up with a lot of movies right now. I feel like we're hitting that lull point in the summer where all the blockbusters are out of the way now. Now I can feel like I can kind of catch a breather and start catching up on my backlog, because I feel like for the past few months it's just been new movie, new show, new show, new movie, new show. Now we're just getting to the point where it's just going to be new show coming up over the next few months. Because I can't really think of anything that's big coming out within the next 4 months, at least not at this point in time.
No, but
Um,
it also gives us an opportunity to start doing what we talked about, the retro reviews.
yeah, exactly,
Old
exactly.
movies that we want to cover and review and post. And a couple will be exclusive to Patreon, but most of it will be here,
Hmm.
or maybe extended version will be on Patreon. We haven't quite decided yet because we got to like
Yeah,
add some way more Patreon stuff.
Yeah, seriously, yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
real.
think I'm gonna start doing trailer reviews on my own.
I
Uh,
thought, you know what? Yeah, I actually had an idea for a trailer review. I thought about it probably like an hour before I went live. I'll give you the idea during our off screen post show.
okay.
So we'll talk about that afterwards. Um, but yeah, so let's get ready to jump into some of the news. Lois, which topic do you want to start off with today?
That Marvel announced that they're doing a soft reboot of their universe. They're in the process of recasting Iron Man, recasting Captain America, recasting Black Widow. So they're going to do a soft reboot of the Marvel universe of the MCU after the whole Secret Wars.
How do you feel about that?
Um,
It's
I
needed, right?
think just it follows the comic book way, where they just reboot the books and characters that were dead are now alive and things like that, and all that's
Mhm.
wonderful. But I kind of feel is whoever you cast as Captain America and Iron Man, you're going to have a very hard time of people accepting it. You
I
know,
agree.
look at what happened with the Sam Wilson Captain America. We love the character, but the movie was a letdown. And it wasn't because of the actor, it's because towards the end of the movie they changed the way the story just changed. And it just wasn't as fun as the first half. So I think that there are certain people in Marvel that are still stuck in the phase 1 and phase 2 mentality,
Yeah,
and I think they need to grow and change, follow more of the comic book storylines. I think that will be a major improvement to Fantastic Four, to Marvel. Sorry, so my background that I instantly said Fantastic Four.
got Fantastic Four in the mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um
yeah, I
there's
agree.
rumors, I don't know, I haven't had a chance to catch up with the news. There's rumors that Grant Gustin may become the movie Flash. I don't know how true that is or not. I have to go
We
take a look.
we've been wanting that for so long. A
I
lot of
don't.
us been wanting that.
I don't want him as the
No, really?
no.
Why not?
I absolutely don't. Because Flash was good till maybe season 7, and 8, 9, 10, and 11 I just stopped watching.
Okay.
It got a little super girly.
I mean, I don't think that was his fault though. I think that was just due to the writing, honestly.
The other thing is too, like, um I would like to see a new Flash. I would like to see who they could pick, you
Yeah,
know,
I
making
agree.
Flash half Latino in the old in the DCEU was interesting. But then unfortunately is with a shitty, he's not a shitty actor. He's a pretty decent actor. He's just a
He's a
shitty
good
human
actor.
being.
Yeah, I literally always said that every time. It's like he's what's his name even, by the way? I forgot his name.
It doesn't matter. He's not
Uh,
important. Everybody
it,
knows what we're talking about.
it doesn't matter.
No matter. He's not important.
Uh, but yeah, I've always said that he's not a great person, but I thought him playing Flash was amazing. I love his version of Flash.
I
I
thought he
really
was
do.
funny. I thought he was great.
Same, 100% agree. One hundred
Yeah.
percent
So I
agree.
just want to see a new Flash. Um, that's all the news and gossip that I have. Do you have any?
Honestly, I think that was the main thing. Just talking about the stuff that came out of San Diego Comic Con with Feige talking about the reboot. They're still planning on going through with Blade, even though it's kind of falling behind right now. Essentially,
Dude,
the
just give up.
you think so? You think they should just give up on Blade?
Here's the thing. Okay, now let me ask you this question as an actor. Okay. If they promised you a job and it's taken you 4.5, 5 years to hear any good news, would you still want to do that part?
I would just lose hope at that point. I wouldn't even think about it anymore. I would just say, all right, well, call me whenever you want. Call me whenever you need me.
All right,
Like
that's
I,
good, right? But now let me ask you a question. What if they offered, because the Superman is black on Earth 2, right? Or Earth
yeah.
3. What if
Mhm.
they offered you that part? Would you wait the 4 or 5 years
Oh
and
no.
possibly get screwed over at the end and age out of it?
No, yeah, and no. See, and that's the thing. It's like they announced Mahershala Ali at San Diego Comic Con in 2019. We're
Yeah,
about to be in 2026,
yeah.
and that movie's not coming out next year. it's definitely not coming out next year. So you're talking about 6+ years since the announcement.
Yeah,
That man is already probably like 40 something years old right now. I would imagine already 40 something. So I don't know. I feel like by the time they actually start getting him in the suit and start kicking some vampires' butts, so on and so forth, is he still gonna be able to move? I mean, 6 years is a long time.
it
Unless
is.
he's literally in that gym every single day, like, all right, I'm gonna keep pumping this iron until Marvel calls me. I don't know. I just it's I'm losing hope for the film. A lot of people were saying that maybe they should just get the director who just recently did Sinners. I forgot the director who did Black Panther, but he just recently did the movie Sinners, which is a vampire movie, and they were
I
saying,
saw it.
well,
It was good.
it
It
was
wasn't
good.
great, but it was good.
It was good. Well, yeah, same here. I give it a 3 out of 5. Chocolate bunnies.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd give it about the same.
yeah. But they were just saying,
Ending
yeah,
was amazing.
one. They were saying, why don't you just get him to do Blade? And which is not going to work because he's going to be working on Black Panther 3, which is part of the next phase. So I don't know. I'm getting a little worried
You
about
know
it.
my pick. You know what my pick for Blade is?
Cool.
Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro made the best Blade. Blade 2 was the best Blade. Get him back.
Blade 2 was a good Blade. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. Blade 2 was Blade 1 was great action. Blade 2 kind
But
of
but
scared
a
you a little
kind of
bit.
crappy ending. The last battle was
It
kind of crap.
the last battle was a little weird. I didn't like that it like went almost like full on CG.
Yeah.
Honestly, it kind of took me out of the fight a little bit.
And mind you,
So
that
like,
was the second ending. They had another ending before that that was even worse
oh jeez. Well, thank goodness they didn't show that one.
with a blood
Um,
tornado. It was terrible, but you can find that on YouTube.
blood tornado part
I'm
two.
not lying or exaggerating. It literally
We
a blood tornado.
got to make a movie called Blood Tornado now. We copyright it. JHouze Radio.
Ooh, a vampire movie, Blood Tornado.
Blood Tornado. It sounds like a 1970s like black exploitation vampire film with some guy in afro, slaying vampires.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with an afro. It's a lot of hard work to get that shit that puffy. All right, you got to you got to pick it
Uh,
out. You got to wash it right. No, 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 no. Don't insult an afro, bro.
what's your name, Vampire Slayer? Mustafa. I'm the secret you don't want to tell your mama. You know, like I
No,
think it'll
no,
work
no.
out.
It's gotta be something like a one word thing. That's easy, like shaft.
Shaft. Oh man, I gotta think of that one. Anybody who watches the video version of this podcast, if you have a name for us for Blood Tornado film for our main character, put it in the comments. I might make it to the actual film. Um,
Ooh, maybe
where
that
were
would be
we?
a good place for your superhero constable.
Maybe. So yeah, I just feel like I am getting a little worried about it. If is it gonna happen? I don't think so. I think he's gonna age out. I think people are just not gonna care. And I think Marvel is gonna go into the next phase, start putting out movies. I hope people forget about Blade and just not mention it ever again.
Yeah,
Um, because
I
next
think Blade is
phase,
10 years away.
hmm?
I think Blade is 10 years away.
10 years away.
Yeah,
Wow, that sucks. Because you got to also remember, making Blade is not just about like how it was back in the early 2000s. Just saying, hey, let's just make a Blade movie. They wanted to coincide with other movies. So if one movie, like that's the issue with Marvel films is or superhero films in general, if you're trying to build a universe, if one film gets delayed or whatever the case may happen, is you fire somebody, so on and so forth. If you're trying to build a universe to coincide with each other, it's a domino effect. So that one canceled film can affect 6 films. You know what I
like
mean?
the
Because you,
Eternals.
yeah,
No, I'm
apparently we're going to
serious.
see them
The
again.
the the Eternals was gonna branch off to do other things. Remember, Black Knight was supposed to be with Blade.
Oh yeah.
You
I
know,
did forget about that.
yeah. So then that ruined that. Because the Eternals did so poorly.
Mhm.
So yeah, all of it. Is kind of linked together. But I just think Blade, they should focus on it as a standalone, and then slowly integrate him into something, like have him pop up in other films. They're going after somebody, and Blade's there, or Blade decides to join up.
I 100% agree. I think that's where they should just go with it. Honestly, just go with something a little bit more simple for now. I think they're so focused on giving Blade the Black Panther effect, and I think it's kind of messing things up a little bit. Just go
See,
simple.
the thing is that Blade is one of these characters that that his ethnicity and race is a second thought. It's
Yep,
more about what he does than who he is. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
I agree.
no one sits there and talks about Blade, and the first thing he says, and this black vampire hunter, you know, they talk about Blade, right? And
Yeah,
then you sprinkle in a little comments here or there, like you did in Blade One.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that's the way to go about it. But I feel like that's probably not what they're trying to do this time.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like they're trying to give it like that, like I said, like that Black Panther effects essentially, which is fine to an extent, but I feel like it's hampering the character. Just put him in the next Moon Knight show or something. I don't know, just throw him in there and
Well,
ease him in.
like the thing is, what I'm scared of is that they're gonna go the route of, well, Blade is black, so we have to have a black villain. We can't have a white villain because like I just don't want any of that nonsense. I just want it to be, you know, think about the story and cast the best actor for it. Don't focus too much on, oh, he's black, he's white, he's Jewish, he's Latino, he's from Zimbabwe, he's from Italy. Like, all that is, is is um is trivial compared to the story. And I think the way Blade 1 and 2 was done really well, where they didn't ignore race, but they didn't make it a major issue or part of the story.
I agree.
It just happened to be that.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what they need to. I think that's how they have to go about it this time around. Honestly,
Yeah.
just keep it simple. Spend 6 years.
Yeah.
Keep it
And bring
simple.
Tracy Lords back for a cameo.
Yeah,
No, I'm serious, dude. She had a great cameo. Like, she was in, they brought her in to hook the guy. She gets killed 1, 2, 3. I mean, it was a great cameo. It was something like, you saw her and you're like, yo, I know this chick from somewhere, but where do I know her from? And then
yeah,
when the news finally got out, you're like, oh shit, that's who it was.
exactly, exactly.
You know?
So I mean, I guess we'll see. But I am looking forward to the next phase. Speaking of Comic Con, they were talking about the next phase being about the mutants. That's what I've been looking forward to the most at this point. So I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm ready for this phase to be over because I want to see what Spider-Man and the next two Avengers movies are going to be. But I'm kind of almost ready for this phase to be over. I feel like this was like that phase where it's like they were getting over the high of the first 10 to 12 years of Marvel, and they were just like, all right, let's settle down a little bit. Let's, grab our bearings and try to figure out how we're going to do this again, because it was hard for them to go from, Infinity War to start a whole new saga and just like repeat the same thing essentially.
No, what I
So
think what it was is they were like, oh my God, everyone loved these 4 movies a year. What if we give them 8 movies a year and 16 TV shows? It'll be even better. And the movie
yeah,
people started going onto TV, and their brains aren't, you know, their way of thinking isn't about 10 hours of story. Their way of thinking is about 3 hours at max, you know,
yeah,
or 1.5 hours on the usual, or 2 hours, let's say, for the sake of argument.
yeah,
And they just lost track. Instead of, you know, doing Sam Wilson's Captain America right away, they delayed it a little too long for him to get into the movies. So they put the TV show out. The TV show was great, and then you turn around and you look at when the movie came out, it was years. So the hype of Sam Wilson being the next Captain America and how different will be died down. You
yeah,
know, and a lot of other characters, it died down. Ant-Man, they focused too much on the humor and didn't put that much importance on the story, and that's what kind of killed it. It was just people having the wrong thought process. Instead of saying, let's Let's look at what works and let's move forward. Like, you didn't create a new Avengers team. You were wrong. You should have created a new Avengers team so people are used to them and like them. You didn't create the Young Avengers, which, by the way, now they're called the Champions.
Oh, really?
The team is now called the Champions, and they will have their own vehicle, whether it's TV or movie. I don't know, but I know the team was renamed to the Champions. You
Okay.
know, and it's things like that. Like, you lost the momentum in the characters that you loved. You should have introduced the new characters on TV
Mhm.
and kept the old characters going in the movies, and you wouldn't have had a problem.
I
But
agree.
you just swamped everybody with secondary characters instead of making them part of a team. And you don't have to put all of them together, just put some of them together.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sam Wilson does his thing with Bucky. Okay. So then you have, let's say, Ant-Man with somebody else. You have Spider-Man and Daredevil together, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Punisher. Like, you can, and then when a crisis comes, they're like, oh, I know a guy. And so then, Spider-Man brings in Daredevil. And then someone says, well, I know a guy. And then
Hmm.
they all get together and they create the mission. Then they decide to form a team. Awesome. You know, not this years and years and years and years of waiting in between, and then you lose the momentum.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, we have two more. Well, one more movie left before we get into the Avengers films. So let's hope Spider Man is good enough to hold it down. To, keep our appetite, you know, in check until next Christmas for Doomsday. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
All right, Lo. So
Speaking of momentum, shall we move on to Fantastic Four?
yes, great segue by the way. So yeah,
Take
as
it in.
always, guys, you know how we do this. We're gonna start off with our non-spoiler section, and then we're gonna go into our spoiler section and give our final review of what we think of the film. Los, I will let you go first. What did you
Um,
think overall, Fantastic Four?
Overall, it was good. It wasn't great. It had a lot of comic book and cartoon accuracy to it, which I did appreciate it,
Hmm.
including one fight scene that was the original cover of the Fantastic Four, which was awesome.
Hmm.
They brought the Mole Man in, which he was one of the original uh, bad guys of the Fantastic Four.
That was
Um,
nice. That was a nice touch.
yeah, I didn't like what they did with the Future Foundation, but you know what? It wasn't a bad idea. Uh, I thought the thing was good. I thought Johnny Storm was boring. I thought Pedro Pascal should have been a little geekier. And though I do think that the lady who's playing the Invisible Woman is not good looking at all, her character was great. Um, the aesthetics, set design were good. I did like the fact that it was a reimagined 1960s where there wasn't anything about segregation and all this other stuff. It was just, you know, like today in the sense of everyone's equal.
Okay.
Um, but yes, that's my initial likes and dislikes, non spoilery.
Um, I definitely agree on a few things with you. Definitely agree with the fact that um, I think Vanessa Kirby, who plays Sue Storm, I went into this movie knowing that she might be good because she's a great actress. I've seen her in a lot of films. She played this role better than I expected her to play this role.
Hmm.
She added some emotion to it that I just was
Yes.
not expecting at all. I don't think I've ever seen her, at least in the films that I've seen with her in it. I've never seen her that emotional. So I guess I wasn't really expecting to see that. Um, I wanted to see Thing a little bit more. I wanted to see more like clobbering time. Just a little bit, just a little bit more. I feel like it just wasn't enough. I was waiting for Thing to have his moment and just tear somebody up. Eventually,
But then it wouldn't be comic book accurate.
but then yes, then it wouldn't be comic book accurate, which I respect, but I still wanted a little bit more, just a smidge. Johnny Storm. Um, I kind of agree with you. I don't want to say he was boring. He was interesting to some aspects, but I wanted more from him. Like I feel like he was a little watered down. Honestly, I feel like he was a little too humble. I wanted him to be a little bit more risky. I want him to be a little bit more of like a hard head. Not
Yes.
like a not like a complete jerk, because you can tell in this film he is older and a little bit more mature, and I get that. But I just wanted just a little bit more from him.
A
I
little
feel
touch of the Fox version of Fantastic Four.
look exactly
Just a little.
perfect. Just a smidge, just sprinkle a little something in there. You know what I mean? I feel like he was a little too just house trained for me,
Mature.
honestly. Mature. But like I said, I'm not saying that he's always supposed to be that way. Obviously, he's going to grow up and change and mature, and that's fine. But he still looked like he's still young enough to have that little bit of sprinkle of fox in him. Just
Yeah, a
just
little
just a, just
sprinkle
a
of
little bit.
rebellion.
Yeah, yeah, just like a smidge of it, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of expecting that. Other than that, I thought the cast was great. Pedro Pascal was amazing. And I didn't think about it until you just said it now, where he wasn't really like he was a nerd, but he didn't feel like much of a nerd. He felt like a very sophisticated scientist, not like
Yes.
not like just like a kind of like a geeked out nerd, essentially.
Or he wasn't as obsessed with his work as he's been portrayed in the comics and in previous versions of Fantastic Four.
I feel like he was, but he was in a different way, because when his wife was pregnant, he was still kind of working. He was building a machine to see if his baby. Oh wait, I don't want to. I'm getting into spoiler territory here.
No, no, no. That's in the
Um,
trailers.
oh, that's in the trailer. Okay, so
Trailers.
he's building a machine for his baby to see if it has
Oh,
powers
just
or
the baby
whatever the
part.
case may be.
Just the baby part, not the machine.
Oh,
But
okay.
but it's a very minor spoiler. But you also have to consider this: how many fathers who are carpenters build cribs, overdo their bedrooms, and stuff like that?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that was
yeah.
a very natural, fatherly, skilled worker, fatherly thing to do.
I agree. I agree.
So you know,
So I
it's like if
mean,
I have a kid, I'm building my change station for my child.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Oh
not
yeah, I
buying
could
it. I'm
imagine.
building it. I'm gonna pay 5 times as much, but my quality is gonna be better.
You're gonna build a crib too.
No, 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 no. I don't know enough about the way cribs are built to build one,
Okay, okay. But that'd
but
be
I
pretty
will build
cool.
a bassinet.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. um. So yeah, I mean, I thought as far as the casting, I thought like as far as the main cast, I thought they did great. Um. What did you think of Silver Surfer being a female on top of that?
I didn't care because it was a different universe.
Okay.
Um, there was something about her look I didn't like, and I
Same.
don't know if it was her physical shape. I don't know if it was the texture of the silver or what, but there was something that was a little uncanny valley.
I think it has some. I think it was just the special effects in general. For me, it was more so like her face. At least for me, it was something in her, like you said, just with the silver. Something didn't feel right, didn't look right. I think it was just the overall special effects. Something just was off about it.
Yeah,
It just felt like it needed to be in the oven just for like a few more minutes or something like that. Give it like
yeah.
another week or two to work on the VFX, because yeah, it felt off. Um,
I will say a lot of the VFX they did for the baby replacement was horrible.
yeah, it was bad. It was pretty bad.
Horrible
You guys, whoever's listening to the podcast, you guys will definitely see what we're talking about. We're not going to spoil that part, but yeah, there was a few scenes where the baby is doing some
things.
like non-baby things, and I'm just like, ah,
No,
man,
even when it was doing baby things, I was like, wow, that's horrible.
even when it was doing baby things.
It literally looked like someone is on their eighth After Effects tutorial
Uh,
and they're
yeah,
doing
yeah,
face
yeah,
replacement.
like it looks like they hired me to do the After Effects. I was like, this is not my role. I'm more of the thespian, not the special effects guy.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, what did you think of Galactus?
Oh, can we save that for the spoiler one? I'm just going to say I have a lot to complain about with Galactus.
Buddy.
A
Okay. All right. We'll
lot.
save that for the spoilers.
And
We'll
the
save that for the
reason
spoilers.
why I complain a lot is because that is the aspect of the movie that is far from comic book accurate.
Okay.
But
All
his
right.
effects,
Yeah.
spot on. I thought it was great.
Oh, 100%. I was actually kind of surprised at how good it was. I was very surprised. Because I don't think we've seen any. Nah, we've had the Celestials. Besides the Celestials and the Eternals, we haven't really had anything with a character this huge in Marvel that very often. So it was nice to see that they gave it some love. You can tell that most of the money, most of the budget for this film went towards Galactus, 100%.
Yeah. Again,
um,
I will continue my part in the spoiler discussion. We're still in the
copy,
non-spoiler.
copy that. Let me see. So anything else you want to, touch base on before we jump into our spoiler section of this review?
I did like the beginning of the film, which is in
Okay.
a lot of the trailers, where they're kind of review the history of Fantastic Four. I thought that was a great way to do their origins quickly.
Yeah, I did like that too. Yeah,
I
I
did
like
think
that.
the story overall was pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but I can say besides the Roger Corman Fantastic Four film, this is number two.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Roger Corman one was better story wise, not
Okay.
special effects or anything else. Story wise, I think the Roger Corman one was better. But this was a really good story. It was a really good introduction to Fantastic Four. Um, I liked it.
Okay. Okay. Um, I especially like the beginning of the film too. I do like the fact that it skipped through all that. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we run into a lot when it comes to these comic book films is for some of them we've seen the beginning story or the origins of the character so many times at this point. How many have we seen it? How many times have we seen it with Batman, Spider-Man, so on and so forth, where like you get bit by a spider, your parents died in front of you, and we've seen it so many times, especially in TV shows. So I like the fact of like, hey, let's just give a quick snippet, let's just do a really quick elevator pitch on what happened, how they got their powers, and why they're so popular in this universe. They are the only super, like so on and so forth. Um, and they really cram that in like very quickly within the first 5 minutes, and then they're like, all right, let's get to the story. I love that. I love that. I feel like some of these comic book films that we're going to be getting from DC, um for Marvel it might be a little different going into the next phase because we're starting off with like mutants and they're going to be starting from ground zero. But I feel like some movies, some superhero movies, depending on which heroes they are, should take a page from this. I think this was very smart. It gave them time to tell the story. And one of the
Yeah,
issues that we have with comic book movies as well is that for a lot of the movies, we don't have time to tell the story of the character because for certain films, you need to tell, depending on where you are in this hero's life, you have to tell the story a certain way, and you can't rush it. Because then if you rush it, then that means bad writing, then that means bad editing, and things don't flow together, and then the movie is horrible. So it's like it's a domino effect. So I feel like a lot of comic book movies should look at this and say, "Yo, how can we tell? How can we give a good introduction to
yeah.
this character, especially if it's the first time they're seeing this character? How can we just give a good introduction and still give ourselves time to have fun with this character for the next hour and a half, at least?"
My only real complaint is they did something that they did in Superman. Like the first scene, I felt like, wait, did we skip something?
The first scene. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I guess I could. Yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from with that. Um, but I think they kind of bounced back a little bit better
Oh, they
from
bounced
that
back
scene.
quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They bounced back a little better in comparison to Superman.
Yeah,
Superman was just like completely jarring. Like, all right, what's happening? Like, I don't even know
yeah.
what's going on right now. Um, so do you want to give your review of the film, or you do want to save that for the spoiler territory?
Let's save it for spoiler.
Okay.
So we're ready to start the spoilers.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting the spoiler section of this review. So be warned. All right. Go ahead, Los. Let her have it.
What the fuck were they thinking with Galactus?
In what way? What do you mean?
Galactus is known as okay. Here are my two problems. One, Galactus will not talk to anybody unless they have power cosmic. The only reason why he will speak to the Fantastic Four is because they have a little bit of power cosmic. The cosmic rays that hit them gave them the power cosmic. It's what it's called in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he'll speak to them because they have that ability. Okay. But they didn't mention how Galactus looks different to every species.
Mm.
Whenever Galactus presents himself to a new species, he looks similar to the species. One. Two, he was way too damn small.
He was a little small. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
supposed to be, I think, 2 times bigger. All right.
Yeah.
He came walking. He's known to come in a chariot. All right.
Mm.
Did he look good? Sure, but he looked like like a Decepticon. Everything was mechanical.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I wasn't expecting that. I wonder why they went that route. Yeah, that was weird. He looked like a moving statue or something like that. It's
Yes,
I don't know.
that
It was
that is
just
that is a pretty. I was gonna say a moving sculpture, but
yeah,
statue and sculpture pretty much the same.
yeah. It just he didn't feel like a living being. He just felt like a chunk of metal just moving around. It was weird.
Yes,
It was very
yes,
weird. Um,
absolutely. Um,
I think they said something about his size in the film to try to justify why he was smaller when he came to Earth. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I could have sworn they said something about I forgot what it was. I thought they said something about him like adjusting his size or changing his size depending on his environment, something like that. Either that or maybe I might have read that because I did some research on Galactus before seeing this film, and I could have sworn I heard or read that somewhere where he can adjust his size depending on where he's at, depending on what environment he's in. So
yes,
maybe that's why he appeared smaller. Because like when we first saw him on his ship, that dude was like freaking monstrous. You know what I'm saying?
that's the
His head
normal size of Galactus.
exactly. And then when he got to Earth, he was like, "Oh, he looks like Godzilla." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you know.
like
So
Godzilla's
I think
cousin.
that's one. Exactly. You know, actually, Godzilla is his pet. You know.
Yeah. Um, that bothered me. Okay. Um, what bothered me was that Mr. Fantastic didn't stretch as far as he normally does in the comics. The Thing, I think they did perfect because the Thing is a very sensitive person, and he's good with kids and things like that. I think they did him perfect. Johnny Storm, I think they didn't do him well enough, and never once did he say "flame on."
I noticed that. I didn't notice that until after the film. I'm like walking home. I'm not walking home. I could have walked home, but I
Going
was
home,
driving. I was driving home, uh, and I'm just chilling, thinking about the film, and I was like, "Wait a minute! He never said flame on. Why is that?" I wonder if maybe because it became such a thing in um, what was it? Deadpool versus Wolverine. You know, flame on. I wonder if they just wanted to just get away from it for right now.
it's
Maybe they'll
part of the
do it
comic
later.
books. It's part of the comic books.
Yeah.
I did love the fact that they kept Herbie around. Herbie is from a Fantastic Four cartoon from the 70s where they had the license for the Thing, Invisible Woman, Invisible Girl in the cartoon, and Mr. Fantastic, but they didn't have it for the Human Torch. So to replace the Human Torch, they had the robot Herbie. So
Okay.
I like the fact that they put Herbie in it. You know,
I do like the
um,
robot. Yeah, yeah, I do like that.
the robot was spot on perfect. I think it added to the story. It added to everything. I like the fact that Johnny Storm was kindest to the robot,
Hmm.
to Herbie, as opposed to everyone else who just kind of dismissive of him.
Yeah.
I did like that one little piece. Reminded me of what they said in Star Wars. You know, you can tell if someone's a good person if how the by the way they treat their droids.
Oh, okay. That's deep.
That kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Um, and all that was fine. But the intro when they started going through their history, you saw comic book line storyline after comic book storyline after comic book cover. I thought that was amazing. And as someone who is not into the Fantastic Four but knows a lot of their history and a lot of their
Mm.
covers, I was like, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that was a very nice touch. How they just included like just the actual origin comics of Fantastic Four in the film to kind of represent what they meant to that universe.
Yes.
I thought that was great actually. I wonder if they might do more of that in like the upcoming like films since they're gonna try to do. I think in what's the Marvel movie or show with the black guy who's acting like an actor, but he's not really. No, he's
Wonder Man.
playing Wonder Man. So apparently there might be doing something more like that in Wonder Man, where there's going to be a Marvel universe in Wonder Man. And I wonder if they're going to do more of that. Some people have been kind of speculating that because essentially he's trying to be a superhero and he's trying to be a hero based off of the Marvel comics that's in his universe. So I wonder if that's like something that they might actually do more of. But either way, that was a nice
I don't know.
touch. Though.
I
Nice
will
touch.
say a couple other things that the movie did correctly.
Okay.
Um, they did feel they did feel like a family, but they didn't feel that connected. I felt like it was split into two couples, Sue Storm and Reed Richards, and then The Thing and Johnny Storm. They felt like two separate couples almost. They didn't feel that unified until they fought.
I think that might be because of Sue Storm and her husband going through like the whole situation of having a baby. I think that was something that kind of drew them closer. So I think that's probably, and I actually did notice that actually a lot too, because a lot of times both parties were always together at like some point in that film. Um, so I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact of them having a baby, and they were just pretty much just always around each other. Reed Richards and Sue Storm. So
Okay. What did you think of the Thing's beard and the reason why he has a beard?
um, I forgot the reason. I thought the beard was interesting. At first, I thought it was a little weird, and I was like, I kind of like it. Like by the end of the movie, I liked it. I didn't mind it.
The, the reason why he has a beard is because even though he's the Thing, he still has the equivalent of facial hair growth. Remember,
Oh,
he took
because
that machine to sand it off.
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
like
Because
that.
I was like, how is he growing a beard if he's a rock? But then I figured because it's probably just his genes clashing, with the cosmic genes and things like that. So I thought it was a nice touch. I thought it was cool. I think having a bearded thing going into the upcoming film is going to be pretty distinguished for his character. I like it.
Yeah. Two things I loved about it. They did talk about Subternia. I think that's what it's called, the underground city.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
which was from the Mole Man from the comic books. Awesome. What I also liked is these little details that nobody really paid attention to. Like the simple fact is their version of New York doesn't have a subway. Everything's an elevated train. Why? Because
I
they
did
can't dig
notice.
into the ground because of Subternia, or whatever it's called.
Mm, okay.
Little details like that I liked.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
a
even catch that.
blink and you miss it type of thing. But
Hmm.
if you watch the movie again, you're like, wow, there's all these elevated train lines. And it's
Mm,
throughout the whole movie. But no one gave it a second thought because they had those weird other shaped buildings that were very 60s.
yeah, I noticed it, but I didn't really like think twice about it. But that's actually a good catch. Good
Yeah.
catch. Um. Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. You probably
No,
had
no,
more.
I was done with that point.
Um. I would have to say there was a point where I loved Silver Surfer, and a point where I was like, okay, I'm done with
Oh,
her.
really? Well, let me hear that.
I feel like from like the scene where they well the scene where we first saw Silver Surfer, I thought it was amazing. She comes down, she lets everybody know what's going on, she gives the business, and then she's out. I love it. No back and like no crazy back and forth conversation. I love the fact that she was very stoic throughout most of the movie, honestly. So that was a nice touch. Um, the part where she like just comes into their ship and just say, "All right, Galactus wants to talk to you. Let's go this way. You're gonna regret it." It like I just love I loved how her character just did what she want. Like the fact that she just appeared in their ship without any kind of like warning whatsoever was amazing. The fact that when she was chasing them after they left Galactus ship, when she was chasing them in like the wormhole, that scene
Yeah,
was awesome. That scene was awesome, and she's surfing on like surfing around the black hole and surfing in the wormhole. I thought that was amazing. That was a nice touch. And it actually looked good. I mean, I'm at this point right now with a lot of these superhero movies, especially Marvel movies, where certain scenes start becoming high action, and you're like, all right, this is going to require a lot of effects. And I pay more attention to it now. Like, all right, is this going to look good? Is it going to look bad? Because that's going to determine how into the scene I'm going to be, whether or not it looks good or bad. And they did a great job. Like the whole scene with the black hole and everything, that was amazing. It felt tense. Um, the
neutron star.
interaction, huh?
It was a neutron star. It wasn't a black hole.
Oh, neutron star. At least that's what they said in the movie. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to go towards a black hole.
No, neutron star. That's almost a black hole.
Oh, okay, okay.
I just watched it, so
So yeah, I thought it was amazing. The first half of the movie that involved Silver Surfer was great. The part where she starts to get emotional and Johnny Storm starts talking about like her people and things like that, and then she eventually obviously turns against Galactus. I didn't really like that. I kind of wanted her to like stick to her character throughout the film and just
that's comic book accurate.
yeah, I get it. I wanted a little bit more of that version of Silver Surfer before she decided to like turn heel. I mean to
Well,
like
here's the
turn
thing.
face.
What if someone throws in your face that you're the reason why billions of people died? Unless you're a total psychopath, it will affect you.
Of course.
And it being said in your own language that you didn't think anyone else spoke in the world, in the universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. Like that was definitely emotional for her. I just wish they would have saved it for later. But like I said, it's not like a gripe or anything. I just wanted to see more of that version of Silver Surfer. But I thought she did a great job. Like I said, beside the fact that of having just some weird effect with her shimmer or her silver, whatever you
Ness,
want to call it,
silver.
silverness, her silverness is just. Besides having that weird shimmer, I mean, I think she was probably my favorite character in the film. Honestly, Silver Surfer.
I wasn't drawn to any character. Maybe
Okay,
Herbie. Maybe the little robot.
the robot was cool. He gave
Yeah,
me like R2D2 vibes. Kind of, maybe.
no, you're too much into Star Trek, Star Wars. You're too much into Star Wars now. I think Herbie was very much like it was in the cartoon. I think it spot on,
Yeah,
spot on. Um, I they did a smart move when they tried to trap Galactus, and the Galactus was smart enough to go, "Hey, wait, something doesn't feel right. Let me look around. Oh, I'm supposed to go there. Ah, you almost fooled me."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I thought that was cool. I thought they underpowered the Fantastic Four a little bit. They nerfed them a little.
yeah. They did.
And then they turn around with Sue Storm, and then they maxed out her character, which I just thought was because here's the thing: Sue Storm in the comic books is powerful as shit.
She is.
There is an issue where the Avengers and the X-Men try to take her kid, and she kicked all their ass.
Jeez. Yeah. I
She is
I
powerful as shit.
yeah, I think they definitely nerfed her down for movie purposes. I think we're gonna see more of her full potential going into Avengers,
Yeah,
especially because of that end credit scene. I feel like they had to, because it's, at the end of the day, it's a movie, and there's some fans who are probably watching Fantastic Four for the very first time in their entire
yeah.
life. So just gotta make it interesting. I mean, and I get it. I get it.
If it's your first time ever seeing a Fantastic Four movie, or even if your only reference is the Fox Fantastic Four movies, you're gonna love this, and you're gonna say it is a 9.5 out of 10.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
If you're a comic book reader, you're gonna lean more towards like a 5 or a 6.
Mm.
You know, um, overall, good movie, entertaining. The story flowed right. The first scene was a little off. I think that kind of didn't make me invest in the movie right away.
Mm.
But then when they went into the here's the history of the Fantastic Four, then I got hooked. Um, I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great for me. You know, Superman I felt was better than this. Not by much. Not
I
by
actually
much.
like I actually like this more than Superman,
Um,
honestly.
for me, it was the way they defeated Galactus that had me annoyed. I do like the fact that Franklin Richards, their son, they kept it exact to the comic book because Franklin Richards is so powerful. He used to create universes.
Mm.
Like
Wow.
he would literally hide under his blankets and be like, "Oh, let me create a universe," and would create a universe or create a solar system or create a galaxy. He at one point in the comic books, he's so powerful. Galactus had died, and he made Galactus his herald. So in other words,
Wow.
he made Galactus his Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Um, and Franken Richards, he has his own comic book series called the Power Pack. It's him, his sister, and two other kids who are like super powerful, and they're little kids running around solving like these universe, ending problems.
Hmm.
I did like the fact that they kept to that, and but they didn't overplay it. They nerfed him a little and made it more like he does things on instinct, kind of like season one of The Mandalorian with Baby Yoda. He did things on instinct. He didn't really do it on, I'm powerful and smart enough, which I thought was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And I did like the way they had him interact with Doctor Doom
Oh, so yes, I was going to actually get to that.
because I have my
Um,
theory on that.
so okay, what's your theory? Let's jump
My
into it.
theory is that Doctor Doom was scarred, like he is in the comic book, and Franklin Richards cured him and repaired his face, and that's what allows him to be Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War. Is it Civil War?
Uh, Doomsday.
Doomsday. That's my theory.
Good
Um,
theory. Good theory.
Also, I think the reason why Tony Stark became Doctor Doom is because he survived the snap and he got corrupted by one of the Power Stones. That's
I
my
think
theory.
so too. I think so too. I'm on the same page with you. I 100% think so.
Yeah, but the only thing that makes my theory not hold much water is in this movie, the Fantastic Four is the only superhero team in the world.
but I think I don't think that I think they're going to eventually leave this universe and come to the MCU universe, which is
Six one
where,
six.
yes, which is where at the end of Thunderbolts they saw the Fantastic Four ship in the sky.
Yeah.
I think what's happening is, at the end of the movie, we see the end credit scene, the baby heals Doctor Doom's face. Sue Storm walks in with her powers like a mom, ready to smack somebody up with a chancleta, and somehow, somehow, Doctor Doom takes the baby. Sue Storm and him go back and forth. I think at the beginning of Doomsday, we're gonna have an epic first 10 minutes, kind of like how we had an Endgame between Thanos and Hulk and Thor and Loki,
Loki, yeah.
which to this point probably the best first 10 minutes of any Marvel movie we've ever had. Nothing, I don't think anything will top that. Um, Side note, just to touch base on that, dude, like if you would have told me that in the first 10 minutes of a Marvel movie, your Loki's gonna die, um, freaking Thor is gonna be treated like a baby,
And loses an
um,
eye.
he's gonna lose an eye, Hulk is gonna get smashed and set back into space by one man,
Oh, and Hemdall gets killed.
and him, dude, 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes of freaking Infinity War, all of that happens. Amazing start to that film. Whatever happens, and I'll get back to Fantastic Four in a second because only got a few more minutes before we have to end the show. Um, in order for what's the name to be good, they have to find a way. In order for Doomsday to be good, they have to find a way to start the film off in such a way that it grabs people. They have to, because of the fact that Marvel to this point has been very, that's what they say nowadays, mid. They got to start off strong. And like I said, I think at the beginning of Doomsday, we're going to have Tony, aka Doctor Doom, take the baby. Him and Sue, they go back and forth. They have words. They fight. 10-minute fight scene. Somehow Doom gets away with the baby, goes to Earth 616, and then Fantastic Four gets in their ship, fly to Earth 616, which is the reason why we saw Fantastic Four's ship at the end of Thunderbolts coming down to their planet, and then that's where Doomsday is going to start. So,
I actually think that it's going to start with incursions. It's going to start with um, them talking about the Fox universe is threatening the existence of the 616 universe. And in the middle of that, Doom shows up.
okay, possibility. I mean, it's so many ways. I think that's what makes it so interesting about this. Um, is that there's so many ways that they can go with this. You know what I mean? I feel like when we had Thanos, it was just this build up over years, and then eventually Thanos just said, "Fine, I'll do it myself." He grabs his gauntlet and he goes to work. With this one, I feel like Marvel is going to rely so heavy on us building our own hype for the film, because at this point there isn't really any hype for Doomsday besides the fact that, oh, they casted Robert Downey Jr. I wonder what he's gonna do. I wonder why he's here. Besides that, there is no official movie hype for this film. Okay, we
Well,
had,
yes and no. The guy who plays Nightcrawler, right?
yeah.
He let it slip in an interview that he fights Pedro Pascal in the Doomsday movie.
Okay, well, besides that, yes, but like as far as like the actual films,
All
we
I agree
we
with
have
you.
none.
All the
Yeah,
hype is due the publicity of it, and not the actual trailers, images, or anything else of the film.
yeah, which is
Even
a little.
though there are still images out there of the production, but
Yeah, there's a lot of like I saw images. I don't know if it's real images leak of supposedly Cyclops is wearing his like comic book cartoon accurate uniform.
yes, the cartoon version. Well, yeah, and a version of the comics.
So that looks freaking cool. Kind of excited to see that if that's even a real thing. But I'm pretty sure it probably is because look at how many images we saw of Deadpool Wolverine that actually came to light, which was actually true.
I'm just
So
curious how Deadpool's going to fit into this.
is he slated to be in this film?
I don't know
I don't think
because
so.
they only released half the seats, the names on the seats. There's
Only
still another half.
half?
That's only half.
What? Are you serious? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Wow. I don't. I'm stressed. I'm stressed out about this because we don't have time to build up to this film. How are you going to put all these characters in this? This film has to. It's going to have to be like borderline 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's
You
going to
have
be 4 hours long with part one
it's
and
gonna
part two.
it's gonna have to be. You had no time to build hype, to build up to Infinity War. You had a multitude of movies over so many years that laid the groundwork for Infinity War. We have no groundwork. We just have social media. And I get it, that's cool. And then we have fun doing this podcast talking about what Robert Downey Jr. said, what this person posted, what that person posted, what this got leaked and that got leaked. That's fine. But there is still a very small part of me that is worried about the fact that you are sending the Russo brothers on a suicide mission to say, hey, listen, I know for the first 10 years you had all this time to build up, but here's a test. It's tomorrow. Can you get ready for it?
I
Like,
think they can
that's
do
kind of
it.
what it feels like.
I think they can do it. You have to understand, people care more about the teams than the individuals. Okay, members of the team may get a line or two during a battle. They might get highlighted during the battle, but there's only going to be certain characters that are worth talking. Charles Xavier, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Beast. Only certain ones are going to really need to communicate and talk. The rest is let's fight. Because if you look at the end of God, what was it called when Iron Man died?
Oh, what was that called? Not
Avengers
Infinity.
something or other. We're having a brain fart.
Yeah.
Um,
Endgame. Endgame.
Endgame. How many characters were there? How many people were there? The whole
Yeah,
MCU was there, and
I
yet
get it.
everyone had a small moment, and they continued, and it was good.
Yeah, I get it. And honestly, for me, it's not even just about like giving all the characters their shine. It's just about we're walking into this just kind of like we're walking into this getting ready for a character, aka Doomsday, that's going to be the big baddie for two movies with no groundwork. It's not honestly for me at this point. It's not even about all the other characters. I'm sure they're going to be fine. It's going to be
But
great to see Cyclops come back.
the groundwork has already been laid. It's been laid in our minds. It's been laid in our anticipation, and it's been laid in the fact that we've seen all these movies. All they have to do is pick and choose the best parts and throw it together,
Russo brothers, man, they better not let me down. They better not let me
like
down,
like
man.
they did with Captain America.
Oh my goodness, they better not let me
All right,
down. Yeah.
so let's review this real quick so we can do our last 5 minutes on Star Trek and then end the podcast because we
Yes.
need to end this soon. We're on a time crunch today. How many chocolate bunnies do you give Fantastic Four First Steps?
Four chocolate bunnies. Four. I love the emotion. Was a lot of it comic accurate? No, but we've been here before where we've had comic book movies that aren't comic accurate, but still pretty decent movies. So I'm not going to eat its lunch for that. I think it was still a great attempt. The fact that this film came with so much emotion, which I did not expect at all, um, was awesome. Especially someone being a father, um, someone being a father, and seeing Reed Richards, getting ready for fatherhood. For me, that was something that I connected with and bonded with a lot in terms of this film. So that kind of drew me closer to the character and drew me closer to the film. The music, amazing. I wasn't expecting to even like the music. I didn't even know what to even expect when it comes to the music, but soundtrack means a lot to me when it comes to some of these superhero movies.
Look up
Um,
the movies that conductor has done, and your jaw's
mm,
gonna hit the floor.
really,
Yeah, look it up. You love it.
I gotta check that. But yeah, I remember there was a moment where I was sitting in the theater, listening to the music, listening to like, whatever scene was happening. I was like, man, when I go home, I'm gonna check out this soundtrack. This is pretty interesting. Um, So yeah, I thought it was good, and also in comparison to a lot of the Marvel movies that we've got outside of the Spider-Man movies, outside of excuse me, outside of the Spider-Man movies, outside of Deadpool and Wolverine, we really haven't got, we really haven't received a lot of quality Marvel movies over the past few years. We just haven't, especially with the way this year turned out with what Captain America, which was hot garbage.
No,
Thunderbolts was
it
decent.
wasn't hot garbage. It the first half was good, and the second half, I don't know what switch they hit. They hit the wrong switch.
The second half was the reshoots. That's the first half was New World Order. The second half was whatever else that they decided to reshoot. That because I agree. The first half was great. I was like, man, this feels good. It's I'm leading into this film good. I like the pacing. I can't wait to see what happens next. And then you literally feel the decline in
Yeah,
that film, and I'm just like, yeah, I can see where some of the reshoots probably came in. It just things just didn't feel right. Some of the special effects were horrible. It just it shows like even like I said with the Thor movie that we got like what a year or two ago wasn't great. We have not received quality Marvel movies, like I said, excluding Deadpool and Spider Man. We have not received quality Marvel movies since Endgame. So to get a
yeah,
film like this in preparation for something that's going to be very big next year, I respected it a lot, and I liked it. I thought this movie was fun. I wasn't crazy about the last fight scene with Galactus. I agree with you. I wish that would have went a little differently,
yes.
but nothing's perfect. I still enjoyed it, and I give this 4 chocolate bunnies out of 5.
I give it 3.75. Um, the reason why is the ending sucked. It is not how they've beat him in the past in the comic books. They made it feel a little too simple, and I think the ending of that whole defeat of Galactus, where the Invisible Woman dies and the baby brings her back, was just like I just felt like it was just let's add emotion here. I didn't
Yeah.
like that. I did like everything that was comic book accurate in the beginning of the film. Um, I did not like the fact that they had faster than light space travel. If you have faster than light space travel in the 60s, you would have colonized Mars.
Mm.
So certain pieces of the logic didn't fit with me. If you've never seen a Fantastic Four movie or your only experience with Fantastic Four is the Fox universe, you're going to love it. You're going to think you're going to give it a 5 chocolate bunnies. If you are a big comic book head, you're going to give it a 3 chocolate bunnies. I give it a 3.75 because if they would have changed one or two things, I'd have given it a 4, but it's definitely not a 5 for me.
Okay. I
All right.
respect
Now,
that.
for our last two little bits of Star Trek news, what did you think about the Star Trek season 4 puppet trailer or tease?
Um, I didn't mind it. I thought it was interesting. It kind of goes back to this thing that they did within the first what 2 seasons, first 2 3 seasons,
The
where
second season where they were all singing?
yeah, it reminded me of that where it's like, all right, it's just gonna be one of those episodes where they're like, yo, let's just have fun, and a lot of I don't see a lot of shows do that anymore. It kind of reminded me of what a lot of shows did like in the 90s, where it's always that one episode where it's like, all right, this episode is going to be black and white, this episode is going to be a cartoon. And so I think it's fun, and I like to see that. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the characters interact with each other in that form. Is it going to be more sarcasm? Is it going to be more like kind of like a comedy? I'm just curious to see where they go from there, but I think it's interesting.
Okay. It is the Star Trek fandom is split on it.
Really?
Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm on the fence. This all
Okay.
came out of a joke that they were doing at a Comic-Con panel, and they said, "Oh yeah,
Really?
we plan to do everything. We plan to do horror, suspense, and something." He goes, "Hey, we might even make a Muppet episode." Everybody was laughing. Nobody's laughing now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, Strange New Worlds. Their last episode was a zombie episode,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
so
I
I have faith that they will make a decent show that is watchable. So I am not going to judge. I think it may be an entertaining episode. It will. I don't think it'll be their best episode, but I think it'll be entertaining.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
agree.
know, like the singing one, something Rhapsody that they did in season 2. You know what?
Yeah.
It was an interesting, entertaining episode. The songs were interesting and fit the characters. Is it an episode I might skip if when I rewatch Strange New Worlds? Yeah, maybe. Um, but I don't regret watching it. All
I
right.
agree. I agree.
Second part. What did you think of the first trailer teaser of Star Trek Academy, which is what when it airs, its first season will be with Strange New Worlds, and in its second season will be the only Star Trek show on air.
Um, to me, that looks interesting because it's once again the Star Trek universe is so huge, just like any other universe, like Star Wars, for example, and it's doing the one thing in Star Trek that I want Star Wars to do. I want them to expand more of that universe. Besides following the main characters and their lives around, let me see what it's like in Star Trek, for example, to be a cadet or to go do basic training and learn to be a pilot. Like let me see, like let me get a little glimpse of what that life is like. And being that they're doing that with this one, it actually looks interesting. Like I remember watching the trailer and I was like, wow, I'm actually really intrigued by this, honestly. So it's something that I kind of want from the series more. I want more shows like this, or like I said, Star Wars, to do things like this. Give me some stories about the little guy, about the guy who's never even been to space before. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's intriguing.
Then you should watch Star Trek Lower Decks because it's about people on the lower rankings.
Yeah.
I went from excitement for the show to oh my god, this looks terrible. This looks like the
Really?
CW Star Trek. Bro, as soon as
Uh
somebody started dancing, right, I was like, oh, this shit's going out the window.
I
As
did
soon
see
as
the
I
dancing,
saw all
yeah.
that little romance crap, I was like, this show is going right out the window. As soon as I saw how young they were, I was like, all right, maybe.
Okay.
But then they kept showing images that I was like, this is going to suck. Like when the commandant, the head of Starfleet Academy,
Mm.
is sitting there and she's talking in her chair. If you look in the background, there's a guy like,
Oh, really? I missed that part.
how did you let that slide? How are you taking this moment where the captain, and he is, damn it, he just passed him. Um,
Oh,
I'm like, how can you take
oh, you
this
mean to go
moment where
back?
the no, no, it's okay, where the
Okay.
captain is being serious and you do that? And then here's the other thing that annoyed me: their comm badges. What the hell is that? That is not a Starfleet comm badge. That is a United Earth comm badge. Okay.
Yeah.
The things that I do like is the Klingon in the like every name back there
Hmm.
is from characters that previously were on Star Trek. But they did stupid things. Like in Star Trek Discovery, there was an Eisenberg class starship, right?
Hmm.
And it was named the Nog after Nog, the first Ferengi that was in Starfleet, which was in Deep Space Nine. But on the wall, he only goes so far as lieutenant. Well, why would you name a
Oh, I
starship
see
after a
that.
lieutenant? You'd name it after a captain.
Yeah.
You know, um, this character right up that's coming up there, it's a female Jem'Hadar. Well, guess what? Jem'Hadars have no women. They're cloned. That ship, the Athena, ugly as sin. That doesn't look like a Star Trek ship. You know, there are moments in this trailer that made me say, "Oh dear Lord, this is gonna be terrible." But then watching other people's reactions to it, they were like, "Oh, the female Jem'Hadar, she's not full Jem'Hadar, she's half Klingon. Look, if you zoom into her shirt, you see the Klingon logo." And I'm like, "What's a Klingon logo doing on a Starfleet uniform?"
Mhm.
The same people who created Discovery created this show. Discovery was a show with such potential, that wasted away. Like if you see clips of Discovery, you're like, wow, this is a great show. Because they had little clips that were awesome, but the whole episode was stupid.
Wow.
Star Trek Discovery is probably one of the worst Star Trek shows ever. And it's not because of the special effects. It's not really because of the actors. It's just the people who made this were Star Wars fans doing Star Trek.
Mm,
And people who are
okay.
into Star Wars don't understand what it takes to make Star Trek. What makes Strange New World so great is people who love Star Trek are making Star Trek. What made Lower Decks awesome was people who love Star Trek made Star Trek. That when Star Trek Prodigy, which was good, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely good. Um, it's the second best animated show ever of Star Trek. Was made by people who liked Star Trek but didn't love it. But then later on, they grew to love it. And it has a lot of moments with its history. This has me scared. This has me so scared. It makes me think that they made this to kill Star Trek. That is how
Wow.
scared I am.
Wow. That's totally different perspective coming from you to mine, but that shows
Yeah.
that obviously
But
you're a deeper
but
fan than
here's
I am.
the thing. It's kind of like when the last Star Wars movie to come out.
Last Jedi, I think.
No. Is it yeah, no. Rise of Skywalker,
Rise of Skywalker,
right? You and I were very split on that.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, it doesn't look half bad." You're like, "I don't know, I'm kind of scared."
Yeah, exactly.
You were
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know, it's just someone who's more into the franchise can see a lot of the writing on the wall. I hope I'm wrong. I severely hope I'm wrong. But here's the thing: if you look at boot camp, okay, or if you look at OTC officer OTS officer training school,
Mm,
how many TV worthy adventures can you have while you're in school?
yeah,
Unless it's about the party that happened on Saturday night.
that's
Yo, I hooked up with this Klingon chick. Yo, kapla. You know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't make sense for first year cadets who are essentially going, this is a tricorder. You push this button and it does this button and it does this, to be, TV show worthy. See what I'm trying to say? If
yeah,
it was
that makes
about the
sense.
third and fourth years of being in Starfleet Academy and you mix in a little first and second years, okay. You know, again, interesting. The Klingon wants to be a doctor. One character, the chunky black girl that was in the show, she's a
Yeah.
hologram. She's a
Mm,
hologram that was literally made several weeks prior to joining the academy. So she's
mm,
essentially a baby joining the
yeah.
academy, you know. So I'm very, very scared for Starfleet Academy. I think the visuals are going to be great. It is the largest set ever made for a Star Trek TV show ever.
Wow.
They said you can literally get lost on the set,
Jeez. Okay.
but I have very little faith in it because, to use a Star Trek term, this is very much Kobayashi Maru,
Okay. What
which
does
means
that
that
mean?
in Starfleet Academy, right? People who are on the command course have to take a test called the Kobayashi Maru, the unwinnable situation.
Hmm.
Okay,
Wow.
only two or three people have beat the Kobayashi Maru. Captain Kirk, because he reprogrammed the simulation because he cheated. Um, Another captain that's in the books because the whole thing is um, there's a border called the neutral zone with the Klingons, and a civilian ship drifts over to that side, so Starfleet can't rescue them, and there's two Klingons about to destroy them.
Mm,
Three Klingon ships about to destroy them, so there's no win scenario, and it's about how you take loss. Nog, Captain Nog, who's only a lieutenant in the trailer, um, literally negotiated with the Klingons and paid them for the ship. So there's only three characters who ever beat the Kobayashi Maru. Three.
wow.
Um, how many times are you going to run the Kobayashi Maru simulation? You know, like I don't have faith in it. And this is the first time ever I have not had faith. Even with Discovery, how bad it was at the beginning of every season, I'm like, oh, this is the season where it gets better, and it got better in moments, but it didn't get better in storyline.
Okay. I mean, now that you say that, I mean, looking back at some of it after watching the trailer again, I'm like, huh, I kind of see what he's saying. Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna check it out, especially as someone who's not deep into the Star Trek
Listen,
universe. I'm gonna
I'm
check it
gonna
out.
watch it, even if it's bad. I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
because it looks like Skydance is gonna buy Paramount and they're gonna own Star Trek.
Hmm.
And if those numbers aren't up for Skydance to say, "Hey, Star Trek is still viable. Let's make a new series,"
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna be one of those numbers that support. Even if I just turn it on and walk away,
Hmm.
I'm gonna have it on to support that franchise, because I want to see a better show.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is gonna be Pretty Little Liars wrapped in Star Trek, Vampire Diaries wrapped in Star Trek. Like all these little shows. I think it's gonna be like the last season of The Flash, just terrible. The last season of
Yeah.
Arrow, which was terrible. I just kind of feel like it's gonna be all that wrapped in a Star Trek skin, and that terrifies me.
Jeez. I guess we'll see, man. I mean, I pray for you. I
Yeah, thank you.
pray for you for that one.
All right. Before we end, we always have recommendations. What is your recommendation?
Um, I don't have a recommendation today, actually. So I'm going to pass off to you if you have a recommendation for tonight.
All right. If you give me 1 second, I'll get it for you.
Let me see.
Um, it's a song.
Okay.
Okay. It's a song and it's a remix. It's called Foreign Revolution Flight Facilities Edit. It takes a Daft Flight Facilities vocals over a Daft Punk beat that is amazing. And
Okay.
you can get it for free on Hype Edit, or
Hype
you can
better.
also
Okay.
listen to it on SoundCloud. Um,
Okay. Give me.
Foreign Revolution Flight Facilities Edit. It I'm not a big fan of Daft Punk. I think they're good, but I think they're more like pop radio than real house music. But
Yeah,
this,
I
with her
agree.
vocals, it makes it feel like house music. So that's my recommendation.
You might have to send that to me because I might want to check that out, especially if it's on SoundCloud. I'll see if I can try
Yeah.
to find that
If you
on
give me one
SoundCloud.
second, I'll text it to you.
Copy that. So yeah, I mean, I think I think today our review of I'm about to say Final Four, Fantastic Four. I think we had a.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean that definitely concludes our review for Fantastic Four. Like I said, guys, we definitely have some concerns going into next year. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, we have one more film before we jump into our last two Avengers films for
Oh,
this
we forgot something.
saga.
We
What did
forgot
we forget?
something.
What did we forget?
Ironheart review, because we promised the audience we would do it. Ironheart review, 1 star. It sucks. Don't watch it. Your turn.
um, yeah, I think I have to give like half a chocolate bunny on that one. It was horrible.
Yes,
Didn't like it. Didn't like it. I know we were supposed to finish a review of it.
it's
With
not worth
30,
it. It's not worth it. Don't
it's
watch it.
not
Don't
worth it.
don't watch it.
This has to be the first time we've ever reviewed a show and just completely bailed out on it. That's how
I,
you know that's how
I
bad it
couldn't
is.
finish watching the series. I got partway through episode 4 and I was like, I am done.
Yeah, I think I got up to the last episode. Didn't I think I had like maybe like a few minutes left, but I had to go do something. It's bad. It's very, and this is the reason why I gave Fantastic Four such a high score because I'm like, dude, we have not been getting any good content from Marvel. We don't get enough good content. Let me say that. We haven't been getting enough consistent good content from Marvel. So that's why when Fantastic Four came out, that's why I felt the way I felt about it because I think I literally watched the last episode that I was going to watch of Ironheart right before I saw Fantastic Four, and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness this movie was decent." I couldn't take it anymore. I could not take any more horrible Marvel content.
Yeah.
Ironheart is garbage. It's just straight good. I think it has to be the lowest rated review we've ever done on this show.
Abs-
Point 0.5 stars.
yes, it is. Even
It's the
Eternals
lowest.
is better than it.
That said something.
We now
And
have a new low bar. It is Ironheart. It is no longer Eternals. It is
wow,
Ironheart.
we have made history on the show. Eternals is actually the first. This is the first time we've ever said on this show that Eternals is better than something else.
Yes.
That is crazy. Um, it's bad. Don't watch it. You're not really gonna miss anything. If you really want to know what happened, just look at like a YouTube video that just gives you a run through of the entire show. I'll even go ahead and say it. It's pretty obvious. Mephisto is introduced in this show. He is essentially the devil of the MCU.
Hmm.
Um, his character was okay. Wasn't that bad. I liked his accent. Um, it's bad. Just yeah, don't waste your time.
And on that note, we wish you a very good night. We
For
hope you
sure.
enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoy Fantastic Four. We hope you. I hope Star Trek doesn't suck. Um, and what are we doing next time? Are we doing a retro review, or is there anything new coming out?
I think next time we should do something a little bit more laid back. I think we should do a retro review. We've been reviewing a lot of stuff this summer. Like I said, it's been shows, movies, back to back to back to back to back. I kind of want to take a break from comics for a little bit because I feel like we literally did that the entire summer. Not that I'm complaining.
But that's the
Um,
only thing that's really coming out. That's
that
pop.
that that yeah, that's literally
Other
the
than
only
the
thing that's.
Predator movie is supposed to be coming out.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I mean, maybe I'll eventually see it when it comes to
I
Hulu.
think we need to watch it for the show because it is pop culture.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did love Prey. Prey was amazing. It's one of my favorite movies the year that it came out.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll review that once that drops. But yeah, I think we should do a retro review. Once we figure that out, obviously you guys will know for the
Or
next episode.
remember we talked about doing a top 100 movie list?
Oh yeah, that's
Why don't
true.
we do 5 random movies each and why it's so good? And if you want, you could pick a genre, and that's what we'll do.
Okay, okay. We'll have to talk behind the scenes about that for sure. But that could be an idea then.
All right.
That
So
could be an
next show
idea.
will surprise people. Is basically what
Yeah,
we're saying.
yeah, yeah. Stay tuned. All right, guys. Thank you for checking us out on the audio version of this podcast or the video version. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a review, 5 stars, recommend, Patreon, down below, um, all that good stuff. We love you guys. We're out of here.
Later.